Have you heard of Chat GPT yet?
I've heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that eventually it's evolving. It probably already does this, but based on my research, it's still like has old data, so it's catching up. Like I think the most recent data they have is from 2001 from like the stuff I'm doing, but
Yeah.
I'm doing a lot of stuff with that now because I have a company that writes it does overall marketing, but part of the one of the programs we have, it actually uses a thing called Jasper AI to write. And Chat GPT is basically free and it does everything Jasper AI does. So it costs cancels out the $150 a month I'm paying for it. But
Yeah.
in addition, what it does, it so I have team members in the Philippines that actually write the content and they write it for the healthcare industry.
Mhm.
And the interesting thing is right now, Chat GPT is pretty crappy, but the thing is it's always learning, and like if you ask it anything like current right now, it's not going to do a good job, but it's catching up.
Okay.
So my thing is like, why can't Chat GPT, if it doesn't already now, like just draw for people really quick? Like they already have, like, have you heard of I forget, I'm gonna brutalize the name, but there's companies right now, like if you type in something, you can say, hey, give me a drawing of a mouse like that's riding in a car, uh,
Oh,
and
sure.
the mouse is in 1920, and it'll
Yeah.
put it all together and give you like a perfect picture of like not perfect, but it'll give you a picture of
Yeah.
exactly what you want. So I think
Right.
Chat GPT is going to go even further and say, hey, here's a picture of a guy, draw it for me this way. Right. So I sent one of your images to one to my a guy that owner the company is like, I want it more superhero-ish. Right.
Okay.
So like, what does that really mean? Like, what does that really mean? Right. But a Chat GPT can like take like pictures from superheroes and then turn it into make it look exactly the way he wants. Cause he could say, I want Superman mixed with Batman, mixed with Aquaman, mixed with Marvel Comics Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
All this stuff.
Right.
Right. And then make it so that it's like exactly what pretty close to what he's looking for with
Yeah.
his superhero, make it look more superheroish. And I get why he's doing that because they want stuff for the future. But I don't know. What do you think of that?
I'm, you know, I'm kind of mixed on it. I mean, I think the technology is interesting, and I think, some of the images I've seen have been pretty cool.
Uh,
And I think I mentioned to you one of my buddies is doing like AI art.
yeah.
Um, where, so on that level, I think it's cool. The other side of it is I've seen a lot of artists in my own community come out against it because, and it makes sense
Oh yeah.
because
What?
it's basically, you know, it's basically taking their style, I forget how some people have put it, but it's uh basically I guess you could call it a copyright issue. So it's going to be interesting to see.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Well, the
it's interesting
company
to
that
see
I
all the
can't think the
lawsuits
name
that are
of.
going to come out
Yeah,
of it.
definitely. The company that I can't think of the name of, it's going to come to me. I'll send you the link to it. But
Yeah,
basically, they said they have to state in their terms of service. We've actually stolen a million images, right?
sure. Oh yeah,
Right.
yeah,
So it's
yeah,
like, of course, they're going to get copyright strikes, right? And like,
absolutely.
and people are going to come after them because you're building it off of stolen images, right? So,
Right, right.
like, so I don't know where that's going to go, but I think the Chat GPT stuff may be more interesting because it's going to actually draw it. You
Yeah,
understand what I mean?
I
So
see.
that's why I think it's going to be, because it's already like what I'm doing with the AI writing stuff right now. It's basically like a person in the USA wrote it, and I just have the people in the Philippines like do quality control, like stuff they can't do, like as they're writing, but what they can do is grammar, punctuation, all that other stuff. And like now Jasper AI is obsolete, which I thought was like the coolest thing ever because
Yeah,
Chat GPT can do it like a whole bunch faster, larger quantities, and do the stuff that the people in the Philippines are doing with punctuation and making it so that it sounds even better.
right, right.
So yeah, I don't know,
Interesting.
but I can see where like the art community is gonna like definitely like they're gonna, I don't know, it's gonna be it's never gonna replace like creativity and problem solving,
No.
right? But it's gonna come pretty damn close. Right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just reminded of when the photography came out. Yeah, when the
Yeah,
camera came out, people were,
yeah.
painters were freaking out and like, oh,
Uh,
this, we're going to be replaced. And
how
then they
long ago
weren't
was
all the,
that? You said
huh?
I just remember. Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot you're born in 1855,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. I'm actually 200 years old.
Yeah.
No, just like reading about it in my art history class, and what you do is you have to, as the technology evolves, you have to evolve too. So
Yeah.
I agree with you. I don't think it's going to ever replace, human artists. It's
Yeah.
just it's going to be interesting to see how it's kind of integrated into our society, and I think it's too early to tell.
Yeah.
Um, I don't
I
know.
don't know, man. I think it's pretty. You could tell because, like, when I look at the chat G, because like I have a person that's full time just fooling around with it and like
Yeah,
doing stuff just to see if we can beat what we're currently doing,
yeah,
and it's pretty damn good. Only problem is like I said, it's not current with all the stuff that it has. So it
okay,
only gets stuff up to 2001. So like for example, I asked them, I was having fool around with stuff. I'm like, well, can you give me the number to City Hall so that I can register to vote? And they gave me everything to register to vote, except they said, well, this data is 2 years old,
okay,
right? That
okay.
they state that in there, but I mean, that's better than I
Interesting.
could do Googling or calling on the phone. Because if I Google, I'm going to read a big long article about how I should vote, and then I'm going to see like politics stuff about how
Right,
Biden is amazing and stuff like that, right?
right,
So
right. Which
so
clearly he is.
yeah, yeah. I mean, the Google says it. If I go to Uncle Google, like that's where I go. Uncle Google tells me everything. So yeah, I don't. I think it's like it's pretty telling of where it's going to go. Like
Yeah,
because it's only going to get better and better and better.
sure.
Um, I just think I think Google's not worried about it, so that tells me that like Google feels pretty confident that they're like people are going to use Google over them. So that
Yeah,
tells me like a lot about like it's going to be yeah, you're still going to be need to organize the internet, right? But this
sure.
thing over here, the chat stuff is going to be very substantial and something that's going to be like necessary for the future
Yeah,
for gathering information in a different way.
yeah,
See what I mean?
yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. And then I didn't know Andrew Tate was back in jail. Are you
I didn't
watching
know
that
that
stuff?
either. I
So he was
haven't.
out of jail. Then
Okay.
he and then only reason I heard is because I saw that he had to go to the hospital.
Oh
So
yeah, I did see that. I to
yeah.
be honest, I haven't been following it too close.
Me either, but I'm forced to because it's like always in my face. And then my
Yeah,
friend
yeah.
texts me about it. He's like, "Did you see that?" I'm like, "Why would you even think I care about that?" Like,
Right, sure, sure. Yeah. No, I've been my wife is she's a big royalist, and
okay.
we've been talking about the Harry and Meghan stuff.
What is it? Oh, so royalist means that you're like
So she's just interested in the royal family, and
okay,
so
okay,
she, I mean, she knows about the history and all that, and
okay.
but so I've been watching a little bit
Does
about
she
that.
know about all the artifacts they stole from like Africa
Yes,
and
yeah, she does. She
okay,
knows
okay,
about all that.
and they
So
still
yeah,
have it and they won't give it back. Okay,
yeah. If I ever have questions about the royal family or about the American mob, I go to her, and she knows like everything. It's pretty impressive.
okay.
But yeah, so I've been watching some stuff about that, and just, I mean, it's gossipy stuff, but
Mm,
it's like, dude, like, you're destroying your life.
mm.
I don't know. It's sad, frankly. I
So
think.
what's that? What are you destroying?
So
What's destroying it?
he's been doing, like, he's got a book coming out in, I guess, tomorrow it's coming out, where he's like telling a bunch of family secrets, and
Wait, who's the guy? What's the name?
Prince Harry.
Prince Harry. Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
Prince Harry's got a book coming out, I believe tomorrow, but it's already out in Spain. So
Okay.
people have been translating it into English, and like, he basically is shitting all over his family and his brother and his dad and all that. And he's seeing psychics and all that. I'm just like, dude,
I
what are you
don't get why
doing,
you'd
Harry?
put. I don't get why people write books anymore. Like I don't get like what's the benefit? Like it's not. It's if they look at the numbers, it's clearly not monetarily. Maybe he's looking to be a speaker And he's gonna say,
Maybe.
I'm gonna go tour the world and tell everybody how rotten my family is. Like,
Yeah, I don't know. I
yeah,
think may I've never met the guy,
yeah,
obviously, so I couldn't, I couldn't tell you what's in his head, but
yeah,
if I had to speculate, I would say, he's the spare. He's not the heir to the throne.
yeah.
So he's trying to make himself relevant, and it's kind of a, bad publicity is better than no publicity, I guess. Because he looks terrible in all of this. I mean, he looks like a sniveling child, and yeah, it's a bad look. He looks really bad.
Well, I hope he sells 1 billion books. That's what I.
I mean, at the end of the day, though, is the money worth, throwing your
No,
whole
it's
family under the
definitely not.
bus? I mean, only he can answer that.
Yeah.
And I don't think, based on what I know of his wife, I mean, she just seems like one of these narcissistic, you know, gold diggers. I don't, again, I've never met her. Maybe she's not, but that's how she's coming off. So if
Okay.
she's not that, she's doing a good job of coming off that way.
She wears the uniform of a gold digger.
Exactly. To quote Dave Chappelle. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, I've been looking at that a little bit and just,
Uh-huh.
just doing artwork too. I'm getting
Okay.
into animation, so
Okay.
because like I said, you got to evolve, and that's how I'm evolving my business.
When are you doing that event?
It's on the 20th and the 21st.
Okay. So you have like
So that's
10 days.
Friday, Saturday. I'm not actually going to be drawing until Saturday. So I'll
Okay.
be drawing Saturday night.
Do you have like is people like prepaying for this or is it just
No,
what's
well,
going
so the event is for the guy's name is Tom Woods. I don't know if you know him. And yeah, he's I found out about him. He
Well, what does he
was
do that would fit? Yeah. That
so
was,
yeah,
yeah.
he was involved in the Ron Paul campaign back in 2008. So that's how I heard about him.
Okay.
But he's a Harvard educated historian. He's a really smart guy. He has a podcast that he has different guests on. They'll talk about current events, they'll talk about economics, history, all kinds of stuff. So I've been following him for a long time.
Mhm.
And then the way he found out about me is he started a group called the Tom Woods School of Life.
I
Um,
heard of that before. I heard of
yeah,
that. Yeah.
so I'm involved in that in the
Okay. Maybe
entrepreneurship
I heard
group.
about it from you.
You probably did. You heard about it from me. So
That's
yeah,
why. So,
so I'm repeating myself a little bit, so I apologize. But yeah, I'm involved in the entrepreneurship group. So he saw my art and he said, "Hey, I got this event in Orlando. Why don't you come and draw?" So actually, Tom is paying me. So people at the event will get free caricatures. Tom's
okay.
paying me.
Well, that's good. So guaranteed money for doing
Right.
your work. That's
Oh
good.
yeah, for
Yeah.
sure, for sure. So and then I hope people like the work and I hope they hire me for other stuff.
So the relevant to like you, so a lot of the marketing that I'm doing right now and helping somebody with, he used to do live events.
Yeah.
And now, although him and other people, marketers I'm working with now and doing event marketing, it's no longer live events. It's doing small events, experiences where like they get to meet like one celebrity. So, for example, we're doing something. I'm not going to go because I have no really desire. But if you've seen this, I know you heard of the show Yellowstone.
Yeah.
Um, I have no desire to, but the guy Rip from Yellowstone, Cole Hauser, who was in a lot of cool movies in the past that I like love, like Higher Learning and Dazed and Confused and all these
Oh
other
yeah.
ones. But he's actually doing an event at the Yellowstone set, and we're bringing like maybe between 10 to 20 people there, and they're gonna
Oh,
like
cool.
ride a horse and do all this stuff. And the purpose is these are business people. So like they're writing it off as a business expense, of course, but they
Sure.
get to have like fun at the same time. And it's like a way to do it. And it's a small group. So you go from events that we did like 500 people
Yeah.
to 10 to 20, or the point where it's irrelevant is wouldn't it be cool to have somebody have a caricature riding a horse at Yellowstone, right? That they could put on their wall to really commemorate it. It's better than a photo,
Yeah.
right? Because that would be cool to share, like more so than a photo, I think.
Absolutely.
But stuff like that, like, so I think that's where the world's going because nobody cares about being in a big event anymore unless it's something where it's like there's got to be a big drive for you to be in a crowded conference room in like a hotel somewhere,
Yeah,
like to like where you're like this with like 500 other people watching somebody on stage pitch you something, right?
right,
Because that's
right.
like what most things have been for the past 100 years.
Yeah.
So I just think there's something to that, like experiences. Like I don't know how big the event is you're going to.
I mean,
um
it's gonna be pretty big.
yeah,
I couldn't tell you how many people, but I mean, it's
yeah,
gonna be pretty big. I mean, they
yeah.
sold out their chunk of the hotel rooms.
Okay, okay.
So I don't know. I mean, if I had to guess, I would say maybe probably like 500 people.
Yeah,
If I had to guess, but I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that.
yeah. So I mean
So
that's
not everyone's
cool.
getting a caricature.
Okay, so that's good, but they're gonna want one.
But hopefully they'll
Yeah.
want one, and I'm going to bring business cards. But yeah,
Okay.
because Tom hired me for 2 hours, so I told him I could do probably about 30, 30 caricatures in 2 hours.
Are they
Black
gonna
and
look
white.
good? Like to
I mean, they're
like
black
if
and
we're
white,
even
so I mean,
okay,
they look not as good as they could, but they look,
yeah,
they look good still.
okay. Like somebody
I've been
would
doing
say,
this for a while.
okay, okay. I guess so. I guess your whole
Yeah,
life counts.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, it's a so I think we'll end this one. We'll just meet next time.